What's good, y'all? We back again with another video. Listen, I know I've been gone for a very long time, but I needed a break. And another thing is, this off season was trash. Shout out to the Olympics. The Olympics was very fun, very, very fun. But other than that, it's been boring. Little signings here and there. The biggest thing that happened off the top, maybe Paul George going to the 76ers. I think Mikel going to the Knicks is bigger than that. That's really it. You got LeBron. I think he signed a 1-year extension. Steph signed 2. Joel Embiid just signed a couple days ago. All season's been boring. Shout out to the WNBA though. The WNBA has been keeping me going. I am locked in. I'm a locked in WNBA fan now. So that's cool. But other than that, I didn't feel the need to post anything. But now that the season's about to start up, we have to grind because the season starts in a month. I got to get out all these position videos. I got to get out my standings, the award shows. I got to talk about every team in the league. Like, we're about to be grinding. I got the itch back to make more videos. So, promise, we are going to be grinding over here. So, make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends. And let's get straight into this video. So, we're doing top 10 point guards list. And I'm not going to lie. This is the deepest position in the NBA. This list was kind of hard. Actually, it wasn't hard. Let me take that back. It wasn't hard. But, like, when I looked at the bottom of my list, I was like, God damn, he's that low? But, like, yo, this position's deep as shit. Like, a player like LaMelo Ball is not top 10. Jamal Murray, former NBA champion, not top 10. Darius Garland, not top 10. James Harden, not top 10. Even though I think they all have arguments to be in the top 10. They're not. This list, I don't know the criteria. So, I'm just going to say who's better right now. I couldn't put LaMelo in the top 10, even though I do think he's better than probably a guy or two in the top 10. I couldn't put him there because didn't play like that. Same thing with Darius. I think the same way. Didn't play like that. James Harden, I thought long or hard about him in the last guy. I'm not going to lie. But then I thought maybe I'm just a little bit too high on James Harden. But I think James Harden is very fucking good. I don't think he's fell off like that. Scoring has fell off. I would say that and the consistency, we're really going to see this year, though, because he is the second option. So he's going to have to go back to averaging about 24 points this year if they want to do anything over there with the Clippers. And then when Kawhi's out, which he will be out, hopefully not, knock on wood, but, you know, if he's out, he's going to have to be the leading scorer. So we'll see if he can go back to that. But, yeah, he's going to have a better season. But I'm still very high on the player that James Harden is. But he didn't make the list. Jamal Murray is just, I've never been that high on him. Not really. Never been that high. Even like last year, having him in the top 10, he won a championship. I look crazy as hell not putting the second best player on the championship team now in the top 10 in their position. That just looks crazy. But I've never been high on him. And yeah, Darius, he was just hurt a lot last year. The way he started, he would have been there, but he was hurt. So hopefully we can get a healthy season from him. But let's get straight into this list. At number 10, and this is the person when I was looking at, I was like, whoa, he's that low. And a lot of people are going to be like, I'm hating because I've had plenty of videos saying I'm not high on this guy. But number 10 is Tyrese Haliburton. Listen, it seems low, but once you see the names above, you can be like, okay, I understand. But Tyrese is very good. He is very, very good. One of these 10 best playmakers in the league. One of the 10 best shooters in the league. It was hard to put him this low, but the reason why I put him this low, when it comes to everybody else above him, I think their shot creation just clears. It clears, and his playmaking is very good. But y'all know, I've always said this, that system helps a lot. It's like when he's not playing, that's just still running crazy. They're still hitting all these threes. They're still getting all these open shots. And it's not to say that he's not a playmaker, but he is benefiting a lot off of this system. I think if he would go to any other team, he would still be an elite playmaker, but it wouldn't look this crazy. Like, some people will say he's top 3 playmaker in the league. I don't think he's nowhere near close to that, because I just think this system helps him out a lot. They run fast. He fits that. They pass. They don't dribble. It's not a lot of ISO. Just quick pass. That's him. He benefits a lot off this system. But I still think he's a very good player. And going into this year, I know a lot of people are low on the Pacers. I wouldn't say I'm low. I would say they're going to be a top 5 seed if everybody stays healthy. Because, like, bro, that offense in a regular season is going to win them a lot of games. They might be in the in-season tournament playoff finals again. That offense is crazy. Now, once you have a series and you can sit down, the defense coordinator or the head coach can sit down and scheme against that offense, it becomes easier to stop. But it's just a one game, one night off thing. The offense is hard to stop. So they'll still be a top seed. And I think he will be an all-star again. But I'm just not as high on him as a lot of people are. You probably still think it's crazy once you hear these names above him. But I'm sorry. I'm just not that high on Tyrese Halliburton. Now, the next player from the Sacramento Kings, De'Aaron Fox. I think De'Aaron, after that 1 year going to the playoffs, I think last year he's became very underrated again. And I think it's because, I don't know, they didn't do what they did the previous year. And I don't think that's on him or even on the team. I just think a lot of people got better. The freaking Warriors, if I'm not mistaken, won 49 games last year and they did not make the playoffs. The West was fucking crazy. The West was wild. So I think that's why a lot of players on that team is underrated, and I think they will be underrated the next year. They did add DeMar DeRozan this year, but to talk about De'Aaron Fox, I think he's still one of the best mid-range scorers in the league, one of the best half-court scorers in the league, and on a fast break, I do think he's damn near unstoppable. And I think his playmaking got better last year. His defense is something that I'm hoping gets better, and I think playing him next to Keon Ellis, that can unlock a lot of things for this team. And I just hope his three-point shot is real. And once his three-point shot is real, man, that boy he's amazing. He is very, very good. And I would like to say that I wanted to put him higher. But when I look at the guys above him, like, for instance, we know Jalen Brunson is going to be above him. I trust Jalen Brunson more as a scorer because he's shown me a lot more, like, these last 2 years. Not that De'Aaron hasn't been good, but, like, last year did a lot for me with Jalen Brunson. Y'all know I wasn't really that high on him, but last year did a lot for me. He is very good. And then when it comes to his playmaking, I just don't think he comes close to guys like Trae Young or Ja Morant or Steph Curry. Like, I don't think his playmaking is that high. So that's why I really couldn't put him that high. But De'Aaron Fox is still a top 10 point guard locked, and I do think he is better than Tyrese Halliburton. Let's see if he's able to rise on this list next year, because I do think they will be a better team than they were last year. That's because the West has gotten a little bit worse, even though it's still stacked. Some of these teams are getting old, so hopefully they can be a top seed. If they're a top seed, I mean, he's playing his best basketball, and he will be higher on this list, because y'all know I am a De'Aaron Fox guy to the soil. So that's it for De'Aaron Fox. At number 8, now this was hard. It was between the two guys I previously just named when I was talking about De'Aaron Fox, Ja Morant and Jalen Brunson. Ja is hard to rank because he did not play all last year. Well, he played 8 games last year, and he looked pretty fucking good. I'm not going to lie. But there's a lot of times this brother keeps getting hurt. He gets hurt a lot. But as a basketball player, I'm going to go with Ja Morant. So Ja Morant is not going to be 7. 8, not going to be 8. 8 is Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, if he can if he can defend, he would be high. Because his scoring is like top 10. It's like, I get confused how he's so good at that size in the post, in the mid-range, and like, you know where he's going to, you know what he's getting to with his moves, and you just can't stop it. Now, he did struggle a little bit against the Pacers, and I do think he struggles a decent amount against taller defenders, but then we see him cook Kelly Oubre, gave him back-to-back 40 balls. Like, Jalen Brunson is one of the best 3-level scorers in the game. You can argue top 5. That's how good it is, and you might even think that's crazy, but if you go look into it, Jalen Brunson is up there. Now, I do wish he was a better playmaker. I do think at times he can have tunnel vision, and we will see how that is this season, because hopefully Julius Randle is healthy, and if he's healthy, that's the person he has to share the rock with, unless they go into a new scheme where Julius Randle, you're playing a lot more off ball. But I hope they don't do that, because I think at times Jalen Brunson is going to need help, because I'm not really a big fan of Mikal Bridges' shot creation. I do like Dante's a little bit, I'm not going to lie. But everybody else is not like that to me, so they're going to need Julius Randle to be a scorer. And I hope he's able to play a lot more off ball. Talking about Jalen Brunson, I hope he's able to play a lot more off ball. I hope his playmaking is better. But, yeah, like I said, he will be higher if his defense is good. And I have Ja Morant at 7. Because his playmaking is clear. And, like, you can argue the scoring is not, as a scorer, is not right there, but the production is right there. One's averaging 28, the other averaging 27. Ja Morant is very good, and I think a lot of people are high on the Memphis Grizzlies because of Ja Morant. I'm still not a fan of the team. I think they have, like, 6-7 good players, but the team is not what it once was in 2021, 2022 that everybody thinks they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be a top seed. But you can say having Ja Morant, just adding him, just boost everybody attributes, because it does. He's one of the best playmakers in the league by far. He's a very good playmaker, and that's crazy because in the half court he's not a very good scorer. Well, he can score, but like that's just not his forte. And him being a very good playmaker in the half court is crazy. Hopefully he can add a shot, a consistent shot. He's always had a decent shot. It's never been something that he can go to. Like if there is a lot of people in the paint, he can't just go to a mid-range shot. He can't just go to a three-point shot because that's just not his game. So hopefully he does add that. And I do think his defense is bad, but it's not as bad as Jalen Brunson. It's not as bad as Jalen Brunson. And like I said, the playmaking is just clear. Ja Morant, off the top of the dome, I would take him over Reese. I would take him. Yeah, he would be like top 7 as a playmaker. So Ja Morant is high. Ja Morant, for me as a player, as like player to watch, he's high for me, and that's a big thing for me because I used to hit on Ja Morant so much. But Ja Morant will be who I have at 7. At number 6, we have Trae Young. Now listen, Trae Young and Ja Morant is a hard debate for me. It is a hard debate. You can say Ja Morant is a better scorer, and I won't look at you any other way, even though Trae Young has a shot. Ja Morant getting to the paint whenever he wants is just something you can't deny. But I would like to think that Trae Young is a better playmaker. And even though Ja Morant is 6'3" and Trae Young's 5'11", 6 foot on a good day, I think Trae Young is a better defender. Ja Morant is terrible on defense to me. Trae Young is also pretty bad, but he gives a lot of effort, especially the last few years. He's been getting a lot of effort. And then when it comes to his playmaking, I do like him more as a playmaker. I think Darius gets underrated in this. I think those two are the top 2 lob passers in the league by far. Their lobs are crazy. I think Trae is a better playmaker than Ja. I would like to say he's a better scorer than Ja. So I'm going to have Trae over Ja. And hopefully, with this team kind of going defense around Trae, hopefully he's able to raise the floor of this team. I don't think it's terrible, but for a player like Trae, who's a top 20, top 25 player, you would hope for an organization to build a better team around him. But like, they haven't really tried with DeJounte Murray. It's just any person that knows basketball knew that wasn't going to work. Now they just want all defense around him, and hopefully it works, because I think him next to Dyson Daniels, next to exactly what we should say, DeAndre Hunter, I think that can kind of protect him on that defensive side, and I think he can raise the floor of this team, because he does have some good pieces around him. Like I said, you got Zach, you got DeAndre. I think Bogey, if he's starting, Bogey's going to be a most improved player candidate. He might even be my most improved player, because I've always loved Bogey's game. And I think him next to Trae, I think they could be a very good backcourt. And this team can kind of surprise some people, so I'm really high on Trae Young raising this team. I just talked myself into it. But yeah, I will have Trae Young I think I'm at 6. Now at 5, we have Damian Lillard. Listen, I know last year was a bad year for Damian Lillard, but like, bro, we gotta realize it. I believe this too. He said he didn't train a lot that offseason because he was trying to get traded. Wasn't trying to get hurt. So he wasn't in the gym a lot. He was getting in shape throughout the season. And then, bro, I've never been in one, but for what I've heard, a divorce is very fucking hard. So to have to do a job while going through divorce, I know it can be hard. I know every game your head is not in it. So I'm going to give him a pass, because there's no way he goes to his best season of all time to one of his worst seasons in the last 5 years. I'm going to give him a pass. I still think he showed a lot of flashes that the old Dame was in there. He was just going through so much shit. Like, I give him a pass for that. And even then, like, if I'm building a player, let's say I have Giannis, I have Joel, I have any big. If I want a guard next to them bigs, I need a guy like Damian Lillard, who is an elite off-ball player, an elite playmaker, an elite shooter. I need a guy like that. Like I said, just kind of brought out his strengths right there. He's an elite shooter still. I think he's a very, very underrated player, underrated playmaker. I've always thought that. And I think they need to tap in more. They need to tap more into that next season. I think they have to run a lot more Giannis and Dame pick and rolls, because if you have that with Gary Trent Jr. or a Bobby Portis, because I don't know any other wing that they have. Oh, or a Taurean Prince on the wing. If you run a pick and roll with Dame and Giannis, it can be virtually unstoppable, because you're having shooting around all of them, and then you have two of these dominant players right there. It would be very hard to stop. But I still think, out of all the guys I've named so far, between Dame and Jalen Brunson, I think Jalen's shown me a lot last year. But I'm going to say Dame is the better scorer. And I do think he would be like the third better playmaker out of all those guys. But Dame is still very good. I'm not willing to put none of those guys over him. I'm not going to lie. I still think he's in the upper echelon. Now, if he comes in here, he's still the same Dame we seen last year, then I'm wrong. Yeah, he should be like 10 to 11. But as right now, I don't see a huge drop off. He just wasn't as consistent or as efficient as Dame normally is. But he's still in there somewhere. So Dame would be at 5. Now, number 4, listen. It's D-Book. Now, I don't think D-Book is a point guard. I am praying this year that he's not playing point guard. But in my mind, I don't see $54 million Bradley Beal coming off the bench, even though he needs to come off the bench. So I don't see Tyus Jones starting at all. So D-Book will still be the point guard, and that sucks. But he's still better than every nigga we talked about so far. D-Book is one of the best scorers in the league. And like I say all the time, one of the best scorers of all time. I do think his playmaking wasn't that good last year, but the offensive system was terrible. The weapons around him was terrible, and it's still kind of bad, but they got better. So I do think his playmaking is going to be better this year. And like I said, and he's a way better defender than any person we have named, other than De'Aaron, any person we named so far. So yeah, I'm comfortable with D-Book at 4. But like I said, I hope he doesn't play the point guard position because it's not him. And if he goes to the 2, it's up. They will be a fire team. But if he's the 1, they're still going to be a decent team. And yeah, I got him comfortably over the guys we talked about so far. Now at number 3, this was hard because I've been seeing a lot of people have Shea over Steph, but I can't do it, bro. I don't think Steph is falling off to even be in Shea talks. I think it's still Steph and Luka. So I got Shea at 3. Even though I don't think he's really a 1 either, but he's going to be playing a 1 this year. I assume they're going to have him and Dub or him and Lou Dort in the backcourt, whoever you think is a forward on that team. So I think Shea is going to be a point guard. And we know Shea. I think Shea should have won MVP. We don't really got to spend that much time on Shea. Shea just had another 31-6 season last year. Went to the second round of playoffs. Was elite in the second round. It was okay in the first round. It wasn't bad, but like it wasn't elite in the first round. But in the second round was elite. Damn near the best player in that series. His team let him down. Shea is locked. Top 3. Next, already said it. Steph, Wardell. I don't think he's falling off that much, if any. Well, let's say since 2022, not since 2016, because we talk about that, he fell off. But since 2022, I don't think he's fallen off. He's fallen off, if any, since then. I think his defense has probably even gotten better since then. And I think his shooting, I think Steph Curry. I don't really got to go into Steph Curry. And Luka's 1. We don't got to go into Luka. Luka's arguably the best player in the world. I don't think Steph's there anymore. If you would have asked me that last year, I would have gave you a compelling argument, but right now, nah, it's Luka. Luka's 1. But that's it for this video. Like I said, I will be grinding. We get a video today. We will get a video Friday. We will get y'all. Let me stop saying we. Y'all will get a video Friday. Y'all will get a video Monday because I'm not dropping on no Sunday. So just prepare for these drops, man. I'm gonna be dropping these quick. I might skip a position because, like, I'm sorry, I love Brandon Ingram to death. Small forwards, Brandon Ingram is like the third best small forward. I am not talking about that. You're not finna have me do a small forward list where I have to talk about fucking Mikal Bridges at 4. Like, I'm not doing that. You'll get shooting guards, power forwards. You might get centers because centers are obviously top 3. It's Jokic, Joel, Anthony Davidson, is Wemby, and Bam. Like, what else do I have to talk about from 6 to 10? I don't really have to talk about that. So you will get point guards, you will get shooting guards, and you will get power forwards. Everything else, I don't know. But I will be doing some other videos. So this is not the last time you will see me. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out.